Hey guys, I'm Vasuri and welcome to my channel Not For The Faint Crafted. If you are new, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. So today I'll be doing day 5 of my Christmas craft special, and that is giant Christmas crackers. So I only made the one, but you can make as many as you want. But before I say anything else, if you haven't seen day 1 to day 4 of the Christmas craft countdown, you can find that in my playlist below. I've left the description, and if you follow it, you can also see all my future Christmas crafts for this year in the build up to Christmas. So I've got another few more weeks, 3 more weeks or 4 more weeks, I think, I've lost track now, of those crafts, and I'll be posting every Wednesdays and every Saturdays as well to the build up to Christmas. And hopefully if you want to try and recreate it, it also gives you enough time to make it. But I'll just show you the Christmas craft, and I think putting it near my head will show actually it is a giant Christmas cracker. I was trying to film it to capture the length of it, I guess, but yeah, this is what it looks like. And yeah, so one thing I do want to mention, which I'll talk about as I do my tutorial, is that I did get the measurement slightly wrong with the inside bit. So here, like where you can fold it just in there, so it did make it difficult to kind of fold it properly, but I did manage to conceal it in the end, and so it doesn't look too bad. But I will talk about as I go through the tutorial how you should measure it to make sure it measures perfectly and it folds in nicely. But yeah, here we go. That's what it looks like. Let's go on to the craft. We've no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. So for this project, you're going to need a bunch of things. You're going to need a large tube of some sort, so you can use a Pringles tube, but I just used a Walker's crisp tube. You'll also need some wrapping paper, some A1 card, I went for the colour red. You'll also need some scissors, sellotape, Christmas snaps, a pencil and ruler, some ribbon, so I had gold and red, and you'll need some strong glue, which I forgot to add in here, and I also had Christmas name decorations, but I didn't end up using them in the end. So firstly, you want to measure the height of your tube. So mine came up to roughly 22.5 centimeters. And then you want to take your wrapping paper with the plain side facing you and also landscape wise. And then in the very center, you want to mark the start and end of the tube you measured earlier. And you want to draw 2 lines down the page, so it should look something like this. So next you want to stencil 2 strips on the right hand of the middle quadrant and 2 strips on the left. So I went too wide, as this is the part where you're going to fold your Christmas cracker. So what you want to do to get this accurate is measure the diameter of your tube and then divide this by 2, and then that should be the width of each strip. So now you should be left with 7 strips. So what you want to make sure is that the 2 outer strips measure exactly the same. So one strip was roughly 13 centimeters and the other strip was a little over 13 centimeters. So what I did was just using some scissors, cut off the excess on the larger side. Then taking your tube, you want to roll this in the center strip and gauge where you need to roll up to cover the cracker. I wanted the Santa to be fully visible on my Christmas cracker, so I stenciled a small strip on the bottom and a slightly wider strip at the top, which I then cut out using scissors. And once you've cut that out, you want to then measure the 6 outer strips and then replicate these shapes on your red A1 card. And once you cut that out, you want to glue these on to the back of your Santa cutout, and this will basically make the cracker a bit more sturdy when you pull it, but the glue that I used wasn't that strong, so I would say definitely use a much stronger glue to stick this down onto your sheet of wrapping paper. And once glued on, you then want to fold each groove of the 6 quadrants. And next you want to fold the 2 outer strips away from you and cut small triangles along the end of your 2 red strips. So again, I noticed the glue I used wasn't strong enough, so I had to re-glue some of these back in place. And also make sure you leave a space at the bottom end of the triangle so that when you open it up, the top quadrant and the bottom quadrant are still connected to each other. And next you want to then take your tube and using a craft knife, cut out the bottom of your tube. And once that's done, you want to then take your tube and place this in the bottom of the middle quadrant, and with some sellotape you then want to secure this in place. So your Christmas cracker will need some Christmas snaps, So next you want to take your first snap and stick one end inside the tube and the other end outside on the outer flap, and you can either use glue or sellotape to secure this in place. And then once you've done that, you then want to repeat this process on the other side of the tube. And next you want to then roll the tube so it starts to form into a Christmas cracker shape, and once you roll this up to the very end, you then want to secure this down with some sellotape, and again do this for the ends of the Christmas cracker too. So now it's time to fold in the ends of the Christmas cracker. So next you want to start folding this in, and here this is the bit where I found tricky because the foldable parts that I mentioned earlier were too long, and this is where you want to make sure that you divide the diameter of the tube in half so it can fold in nicely. And what I also found is, again, the glue I used wasn't strong, so some parts it was difficult to glue back on, so I kind of just left it and just kept trying to fold that in. So once you've managed to fold in one side of your Christmas cracker, you just want to basically take some gold ribbon and tie a knot around this and cut off any remainder ribbon that's left off. Before you close the other end of the Christmas cracker, you want to start putting in some treats inside. So I put a bunch of things including chocolates, party hats, games, jokes and so on, and you can put whatever you want. And once you've put what you wanted in, you then want to close this end of the Christmas cracker. Again, what you want to do is just fold this back into place and then tie a ribbon around it and cut off any excess ribbon. And finally, take some thick red glitter ribbon and glue this around the ends of your Christmas cracker, and if you find that you have too much, just cut off the excess ribbon, and then there you have it, your giant Christmas cracker is ready. Hey guys, so I hope you liked that tutorial. If you did, please do give this video a big thumbs up, and if you love it, please do click that subscribe button. And again, as I mentioned earlier at the start of the video, I do have a special playlist hosting all my Christmas crafts for this year, so if you want to keep on top of all my future Christmas crafts before the end of the year, do follow that as well. I'm also on social media, Instagram and Facebook, so if you do want to try and recreate this yourself, it'd be amazing to see, so just hashtag not for the faint crafted and I should be able to find you. Yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, and we're edging closer and closer towards Christmas. I cannot wait. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye.